Doom Party of 2020, everyone. I am your host, Eric Akonis here, dressed as a vampire, and welcome to the super fun, absolutely my favorite show of all time every single year, where we get some of Milwaukee's greatest comedians to hang out together, dress up in some funny costumes, and then tell some jokes that will chill you to your funny bones. Everyone, I would like to quickly introduce to you my assistant and associate for the evening. Would you like to please introduce yourself, my thrall?
Well, I guess that depends which one of me you'd like to talk to.
Oh, yes. Forget, it's a split personality.
Yes, This is Sybil, and this is Tim.
Okay, so Timble and Tim.
Yes.
Very nice, very nice. Well, we happen to have a very, very, very fun group of comedians and great acts waiting for you today. However, I will be honest, making the jokes of this year has been a little bit difficult. As you can see, I have chosen a vampire for my costume this year because, quite frankly, of all the monsters that could represent 2020 any better than a vampire, I really can't think of what is. I mean, honestly, who else knows about sucking more than a vampire? And I think we can all agree that this year has kind of sucked a lot. I mean, really, trying to write jokes for this year has been like squeezing blood from a stone. Get it? Yes, yes. This is essentially the kind of jokes that you can probably expect throughout the entire show, everyone. So please sit back, get comfortable, and pour yourself a lot of booze, because it is going to be a very fun show. Now, getting started, I just want to tell you a little bit about how difficult it's been for vampires this year. You see, it has been incredibly difficult. I mean, not that it's easy most of the days, but do you know how hard it is to try to bite someone in the neck from 6 feet away, regardless of whether or not you're wearing a mask or not? But, you know, we try to get by. I've been living a pretty sedentary life. I've been trying to get some jobs here and there to try to keep myself busy. I've been very easily quarantined in my coffin for a very long time, but I've been looking around, you know. I tried to be a philosopher for a while, but it never really worked. I just don't really have the capacity for self-reflection, you know. I tried becoming a miner for a bit because I heard that the caves had really good veins, but it's not the same kind of veins. It was just a bunch of metal going through the rocks. I also tried to become a banker for a while, and just like any good vampire, I tried to start a blood bank, but, you know, they don't like it when you only take withdrawals. And I was having trouble trying to find a staff as well, but thankfully I have a lot of loyal hemogoblins that have been helping me out with that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we hang out, I don't want you to be intimidated by me. I am just your friendly host for the evening. And I don't want you to think of me as a vampire. I want you to think of me more as your vampire, if you will. We're just going to hang around for the next little bit and enjoy some jokes. Tim or Timbley, do you have anything that you're very excited about for this Halloween season?
The holiday torn. I just, some days I'm up, some days I'm down. I just can't make up my mind.
Oh, I know how you feel. I know how you feel. I have been very, very lonely this year, being all by myself. I don't know whether or not I want to try to find someone to spend time with or not. I used to be able to go to funerals. I thought that was a wonderful place to meet women. But between you and me, I think that I've hit my widow's peak at this point. Now, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said understandable. That's why I solved the problem internally.
Yes, I see that you have. I see that you have. I have to compliment you, by the way, on the dangly that you have on the side of your head. That is a very, very fashionable. Now, everyone, I have a whole bunch of very, very fun comedians who have been practicing and sending in their own jokes that I would like to share with you today from all over this wonderful world of ours. The first performer that I would like to introduce to you is a very, very talented scientist who, by the way, has a very important message for everyone. So please, everyone, I would like you to welcome to the screens with a little clapping or however you would like to do, Liv Scherschel as Georgia Clooney, everyone. Oh, wait for it. Technology is not a vampire strong point. Yes.
Hey there. I'm Georgia Clooney of the Clooney Institute for Clones. And I'm here to clear up any sort of confusion that people have about clones. They ask me all the time these questions about clones, and I have to do the same thing over and over. So I just am going to make one video, send it out, and you guys can figure out the rest, okay? Okay. Now first, before we get into any brass tacks, I do want to let you know there have been some rumors going around about how I may be crazy or grossly negligent. However, I prefer the term ethically dubious, and so do most of my clients. So if you could please correct your thoughts on that, I would appreciate it. Now, the first thing that I just want to let you know about clones, if you come over to the Clooney Institute and we make a clone for you, if you just get a standard clone, I can't really guarantee that your clone is going to like you or you're going to like your clone. And there's a very simple reason for that. Some of you out there are just assholes. So, assholes don't necessarily like other assholes and vice versa. So there are actually no promises. However, if you look at the form that we send you in the mail, there is a box where we can alter your clone a little bit to be just more likable and more interesting. However, I do want to make it known to you that sometimes your family and your friends will like your clone more than you. So for the most part, if you're looking for a clone to be your friend or, to take care of your kids so you can do other stuff or to succeed at work for you, in general, that doesn't work out very well, we'll still do it. I'd be happy to do it, but then you may want to get a higher, more exclusive plan so that we can go through and pick out the exact things you want to make sure that, your wife doesn't fall in love with your clone. It happens more than you might think. Another problem that may come up is that you want an evil clone, but you didn't tick that box. I can't guarantee that the clone's going to be evil if you don't tell me to make it evil. So that brings me into number 2. Not all clones are evil, right? So, ideally, if you're looking for an evil clone, you say that up front. Now, if we are looking to make an evil clone, I will say evil clones are my specialty. We do need to have a little bit of a conversation. We do have a survey that we have you fill out. Just some real basic stuff, like how evil do you want them to be? Do you want them to be scale 1 would be doesn't tip at restaurants. Scale 5 would be kicks a puppy if they see one. Scale 10, that's about genocide, right? That's world domination. But we need to discuss that because the rates will change and do apply to those different levels. Now let me just look at my handy clipboard here. Oh, sure. I do want to make sure that you know that you do have to pay extra for those evil clones. And we have done plenty of tests on octopi, goats, and of course sheep. In fact, we did lose an evil sheep a few years back. So if you run into any sheep kicking puppies, just give us a ring on the old ringer there and we'll come down and take care of that. All right. So another thing I hear about a lot is, oh, hey, if a fly gets stuck in the chamber when you're cloning a person, is it really like that movie? Yes, it's a lot like that movie, except we don't put a whole person in there. This isn't what it looks like, because most of my clients say they don't even want to clone themselves, they want to clone, they want to make an evil clone of someone they know who's really causing problems for them. You know, they may call him a nemesis or a goody two-shoes, frustrating guy or gal. You know, that's fine. You know, it's not usually a person in there. So it's still a huge old mess, right? You end up with a fly person. But we're very careful now. You know, you do that 2, 3, 8 or 9 times, and then you just don't want to clean up and kill fly people no more. So we're pretty good about that. And we don't charge extra if that happens. We know that's on us, right? So we're not going to take that out on you. The last thing I want to add, I'm really excited about because this is a new feature. Up until this point, we've been cloning babies, right? So you give us a hair of someone, and we clone them into a baby. So that would mean that you'd have to wait, 16 to 20 years before you could actually use this clone to, take care of your chores or, wipe out mercury. Now, I am pleased to announce that we are doing same age cloning. We do just need you to tell us how old the person is on the form when we give you the form. As I said, it's very comprehensive. I do want to say, if you want our ultra premium package, you don't need to fill out any forms. I know lots of people don't like forms, blah, blah, blah. You have to put the date 3 times and sign it X a number of times. We won't make you do that. You'll come in and we'll have counseling and we'll get you the exact type of evil clone you want. Evil's relative. We know there's a huge spectrum, right? So sometimes, like, if you want an evil clone, say Hitler, that might be a nice guy, right? It's like the opposite. But if you want an evil clone of, like, Jesus, that's going to be a pretty mean guy, right? So, we need to know where we're going with this, and maybe there's specific things that you're looking for. We can make you the exact clone that you want, and that's our goal. So if you're looking for an ethically dubious scientist who needs work, you know where to reach me. Have a good one.
All right, everyone, let's hear it for Giorgio Clooney, huh? That was a really fun and informative little speech. I never knew so many things about clones were actually considered so much. I always thought that, you just squeezed a little blood into a tube and then you shook it around a little bit and then... Well, honestly, I've never gotten past that point because I would just shoot down the blood right afterwards. But, Timothy, what do you think about clones?
I think it would have come in handy a long time ago. I could have used a few of them, I think. As I'm already morally ambiguous, I think I just would have ordered a duplicate.
Yeah, duplicant, right? Yes. Now, everyone, friends at home, if you are watching, I'm sure that you have noticed that you can actually add chats and tell us all of your own comments and thoughts on all of the different comedians that you are seeing tonight. Or if you have some Halloween jokes of your own that you would love to share, please make sure that you add them in the comments below. You can chat us with the hashtag costume party, I believe. And you can probably just store your chats into whatever social media platform you happen to be watching this performance on right now. One of the things that Georgia brought up that I thought was very interesting is that evil is relative. I happen to have a bunch of evil relatives that I would like to tell you about. Like, for example, my uncle Count Chocula. He was a very, very famous vampire for a very long time. But unfortunately, they found out that he was eating a whole bunch of his informants and everyone else. And he was labeled a serial killer, and no one has seen him ever since. I also had another very, very dangerous grandfather of mine. He ended up being a street racer for a while, and maybe you've heard of him, Nosferatu? Yes. He was quite the speed demon back in the day. We always think very fondly of him. Tim, do we have any of our friends adding any comments in the chat that we would like to share?
Yes, Brian was stating that it must get real clonely over there.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I will love it. I love it. Now, everyone at home, we do have a few more comedians that I would like to share with you. This next one is a very, very controversial statement of a comedian that I'm sure everyone has been dying to hear from. Everyone, please welcome to your screens Sarah Nelson as a Carol. Wait, hold on. You know, I used to have a better computer. I'm holding out for 100 terabyte computer, but I don't really know if it's working or not.
Just gotta get this over with and call it a day. Hey, didn't see you there. How y'all doing today, tonight, wherever you are? My name's Carol. That's Carol. No E at the end. So that's not like Carol Baskins, okay? I may talk like a Carol Baskins, but I'm not. I'm from Biloxi, Mississippi. Born and raised. I've been here my whole life. And I know what you're thinking. I may look like I may need to talk to your manager, but I'm going to tell you right now, honey, I don't want to talk to your manager. I don't want to look at your manager. I don't want to speak to your manager. I sure as hell don't want to know what your manager ate for dinner last night either. I don't care. Yeah, so what I'm putting down is no, I'm not a Karen. To be honest with you, I'm getting real sick of this Karen bull crap. I can't even live my life. I mean, every day it's something new. You're Karen. You're a Karen. You're a Carol. Why? Because I'm a white woman? And I look like the lady from John and Kate +8? No. This is how my hair grows in. I can't do anything about it. You know, what do you want me to do about it? You know? I got a bunch of cowlicks, and I can't fix it. It's always been this way. So So anyway, yeah, I'm just ranting. It's just getting real hard for me to live and survive. So I was working at a Denny's for about 15 years. So I was working at a Denny's, and one day they just let me go. This was this year. This was just a few months ago, you know, from the pandemic. And hey, Harold, sit your ass down. Damn cat. Damn pussycat. Anyway, so I was let go from my job at Denny's. I was a server. I worked my way up. I started as a dishwasher, and then I was a server. One day they were like, we don't need you anymore, okay? We don't need people serving food. We need cooks. I was like, well, I can't cook for shit. You know, I'm over here burning an Easy Mac. What do you want me to do about it, you know? So anyway, they let me go. And it's been real tough. It's been real hard. I'm on unemployment. I'm currently actually making more money than I ever have in my entire life. You know, I don't want to get too political or anything like that, but, you know, I know who I'm voting for. And I hope you're getting your sticky buns out there and you're voting too. You know, get an early vote in. Do what you got to do. If you're an undecided voter, who's an undecided voter at this point? You know, we're so close to the end to the election day. Like, if you're an undecided voter, you probably like your steak cooked well done. Yeah, you're probably a little bitch. Look, I hope this doesn't cause instances for, you know, voter intimidation or whatever the hell it's called, you know, but, you know, I'm not trying to do that. just say, I know who I'm voting for. And, they always say nice guys finish last. I beg to differ. Because guess what? I married my high school sweetheart. Boy was nicer than the paper boy, So, anyway, this kind of turned into a PSA. And I'm sorry for talking your ear off a little bit about politics, but I want to tell you my life story. And, I don't know if it makes sense, but all in all, I'm no Karen. I'm a woman out here trying to make a difference. Who's trying to quit smoking too. Anyway, that's all I got.
All right, everybody, and that was Carol. Everyone hear it up for Carol with the clapsies and the clapsies. Yes. I can really feel for her. I know what it's like for people who used to work at Denny's until the pandemic came around. That's a fun little turn of phrase to say every once in a while. But, I'm used to the night shift. What can I say? I relate to those types of people, Timbila, do you relate? What is your favorite time of the day?
You know what? You broke up for a minute there, and I couldn't hear what you had said.
Oh, I was asking you what your favorite time of the day is.
Oh,
do you
like what? Sometimes I like daytime, sometimes I like night. It just depends, which side, is in a better mood.
That's fair. That's fair. Now, do you ever find yourself having to, like half of you is awake during the day, and then the other half of you is awake during the night, and you just have to kind of, do you have 2 alarm clocks? I'm very, very confused by how you live your life.
It's been a difficult existence. Fortunately, thanks to the pandemic, I haven't had to set an alarm clock for months, so that could kind of solve that problem for me.
Yes, I can understand that. I never myself have had to worry about alarm clocks too much. I just seem to wait until, night falls, and then I just naturally seem to wake up. I used to have a thrall that would help me out with that, but I had to get rid of them. They were an incredible optimist, and their sunny personality was almost the death of me. You understand what I'm saying? Now, speaking of thralls, everyone, our next presenter happens to be a musical thrall in itself. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to very much and very happily welcome to your screens now my good friends Brian and Tess with a musical interlude just for you. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy. If it works. Once again, computers. Yes.
It's okay. Take a breath. Look around. You're going to be all right. Unclamp your bolts. Brush up your new hair. The doctor and monster have yet to arrive. I'll show you your face, but just a quick warning. You used to be dead, but now you're alive. And suddenly, Igor, that's me. I'm here to revive you. You don't need no doctor, no monster husband. Now that you're free, girl, I'd like to invite you to the escape I'm planning. Just take my hand.
Everyone seems to fear and despise me. Villagers chase me, tell me I'm cursed. Frankenstein's plan is what most terrifies me. Sure, fire's bad, but forced marriage is worse. Suddenly, Igor is lurching beside me. He don't wear round torches. He don't Frankenstein. In me he sees me. He knows what I'm thinking. He installed my brain.
I did. Now I've got feelings for this former cadaver. No need to play God, 'cause I've found paradise.
He takes my hand, it feels just like lightning. If lightning's like love, then I've been struck twice. Suddenly gone.
Suddenly gone.
Electrified me.
Electrified you.
Suddenly gone.
Suddenly gone.
Show me that
Darker
friend
friend is evil, and
he don't define you.
And don't care if it haunts you.
Don't care if it haunts you.
What you want.
I'll do what I want to.
She's nobody's monster. You're
I'm
your
my own woman.
My hunch. Sorry.
Ah, yes, how wonderful! Man, that is a great song. I'm clapping here in my own little home studio for that. Yes, Timothy, how are our friends watching this show responding? Have there been any more comments or chats that we could share?
Oh, yes. So far, there's great love for Brian's shiny head, or Igor's shiny head, as we saw there. That's the topic of conversation at the moment.
Oh yes. Well, you know what? That is it's an important thing to have a shiny head. I've always appreciated that. I've always liked the glare that you can get off of a really well waxed bald head. You know, especially the kind that you can, you know, just stretch over and put on top of yourself. It's always uncomfortable. It's a great conditioning cap too. It will really help your scalp reinvigorate itself. Oh yes. I know a lot about health things. As a vampire, I try to stay in the best condition that I can. However, I will say that it is very difficult when I have to go to the dentist as a vampire. You know, like I always go in and they always take that little mirror and they stick it in my mouth and they're like, "Oh my gosh, all your teeth are gone." It's weird. And then they say, "You know, you have canines with very big cavities in them." And I correct them. I'm saying, "No, those are fangs. And yes, I know that there's a tube inside of it. That's how I feed. Please do not fill in that cavity. I will starve to death." And they never really seem to listen, you know?
Do they charge extra for cleaning the big teeth?
Oh, well, not so much cleaning, but I do have a sharpening service that comes in, and that will cost you an arm and a leg every single time. Yes. Yeah. Now, speaking of very, very expensive habits, like, for example, my teeth sharpening, our next performer happens to be one of the most expensive habits that you could probably find these days. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome to your screens right now, Dave Simon as Winston but Chesterfield, the cigarette. Everyone, enjoy. Yes.
Hello, I'm Winston, and I'm a cigarette. Yes, it's normal for a cigarette to talk. Shaman have been using us for years to talk to the spirit world. Get over it. It's 2020. 2020. It's 2020. Do you know how weird this world is? How strange this is for me? I'm no longer the most dangerous thing in the room. In masks. Wear a mask. Wear a mask. Masks make it hard to suck my butt. But I'll tell you, if you're stressed out, man, suck my butt and exhale. It helps with anxiety and depression. Whole lot of anxiety and depression in the world. I'm so thankful for it. let's call it job security. And my parents told me I was going to be a burnout. I never really believed in love growing up. I was told all I had to do was find a good match and all my dreams would go up in smoke. But then I had a lucky strike and I met my wife, Virginia. She was much taller than the rest of the girls, and she took my breath away. She was so intriguing, just intriguing. She started out as a wide. She went on a diet and became the Virginia Slim I've come to know and love. When we got married, when I married Virginia, she really wanted to go on a honeymoon to London. But I wasn't having it. I did not want to be called a fag. I got too much American spirit for that. We didn't go. I'm important. I truly am. I will be king until I'm 100. I hope I make it. I'm a little concerned. I have no filter. And not too many people like me. I had 19 friends. But I lost them all in a fire. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be cremated when I'm dead. Someone will probably bury my head into an ashtray and leave me there to rot. I've made a lot of friends over the years. You could say I have an addictive personality. Most of the time, I become really close to them, and then they die. I really feel like a coffin nail. But if I take a deep breath and exhale, I feel better. I've had some depression over the years, and I've had nowhere to turn but inside. Therapists don't like me. They've been prescribing medications and teaching people how to avoid me for years. I feel discriminated against. I really do. I really feel discriminated against. I mean, people are literally paid not to grow me. I'm not feeling a whole lot of love. Yeah, I might kill more people than alcohol, but at least I'm not a virus. Dude, they used to let me hang out in high schools, and then they banned me. Now, school shootings are up like 400%. And I'm the most discriminated guy in America. I'm the most discriminated guy in America. Hell, they got rid of ashtrays in cars. I can't go into restaurants or bars anymore. Hell, they won't even let me fly. So I hitchhike. Any Newport in a storm, you know? Anyway, suck my butt and relax. I gotta go. The AA meeting's about to let out. And then my buddies and I are going over to the Indian casino. I'm out of here.
Yes, there you go. A talking cigarette, everyone. I bet you didn't expect that you would see one of those during the show today, huh? This is just the kind of creativity and wonderful ideas that you can expect from our friends at the Interchange Co-op Theater, or Interchange Theater Co-op. Yes. Timothy, could you tell us a little bit more about this wonderful new theater that is coming to Milwaukee?
Well, this wonderful new theater that is coming to Milwaukee is going to be community driven. It is going to be co-op style so that people can come and they can join our co-op. They will vote for the positions that people hold. And we aim to make a very, very open, fair community that's welcome to all.
Excellent. Yes, it should be a very, very exciting thing. And now, I know that a lot of people say that there is a lot of support and community whenever you have a theater come together. And it is really an inspiring thing. It reminds me of some of the most inspiring words I ever heard that my mother told me a long time ago. You know, give a man a fish and they will eat for a day. Give a man a steak and he will stab it through your heart. really makes you think, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't really know if those two things are related, but it just made me think of the most inspiring words that I ever heard. Now, everyone, we have one more performance ready for you tonight, but this is going to be a little bit of an interesting one. Timothy, I'm going to fall off of the screen for just a moment. Could you take a moment and share some more of the comments that our friends have been adding into the chat section?
Absolutely. It seems that last set inspired many, many puns. They just kept rolling in. Brian was the biggest contributor on the puns. Suck my butt seems to be the catchphrase of that one. We were worried about him being snuffed out, as well as Liv stated that this set is lit. And then Brian was curious as to whether the butt was an ash hole. So truly inspiring work.
Nice. Wonderful. Very, very nice. Well, hey, everyone. We have one more performer for you before we wrap this show up. Get it? Wrap? Like cigarette wrapper? That's a pun that I just thought of in this moment. I'm pretty clever, huh? No, I don't really expect any sort of applause for that. But everyone, I do know that no one is really thinking that Halloween is all that scary this year, because there are many more scary dates to come. Like, for example, November 4th or 5th, yes? Pretty soon, the whole political world may be completely a shambles. Well, helping us to understand that, we have our last performer, which thankfully I was able to figure out a way to get her to join the show tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to introduce to you Rebecca Siegel as Necromancer Pelosi.
Ooh. Welcome. Have a seat. Grab yourself something nice to drink. Sit down for spell. Let's roll with the punches, shall we? D20. While you're getting comfortable, I'm gonna pour myself a drink. I always find a nice drink to be quite nice when it's a full moon, or a clear moon, or no moon. I think a drink is nice any night of the week, or a month, or a year. It really lifts my spirits. But, oh, that is wonderful. Oh, who am I? Sorry, I didn't introduce myself. I just assumed everyone knows who I am. Welcome to Chez Moi, Necromancer Pelosi, speaker of truths, speaker for the undead, speaker of the haunted house. Now that's just the stimulus I need. Don't worry. If you're here, you're like family. Now, don't drink too much, because, as we all know, you can trip, and it might give you a very chill touch. Speaking of touches, listen to this one. Why did the scarf make the cold, near-dead woman feel alive again, but also weak in the knees? Anyone? He was a necromancer. I killed myself. But that's fine, I'll bring life. Now, you must be here because you are looking to communicate with the dead. you have come to the right place. But not only do I communicate with the dead, I also run a very tight ship. And some people think that this is just a publicity stunt. Well, that really rattles my bones. I am here to tell you that this is the greenest political path anyone could take. We really embrace the use of the whole body. Reduce, reuse, reincarnate. It's all for the greater good. Anyway, what was I talking about? Ah, I know. Oh, had to get that weight off my shoulders. Still undead. Speaking of the undead, I wanted to invite you to my workshop next week for raising the undead careers of living politicians. Our guest speaker, will be the Honorable Howard Dean. Don't scare him too much, though, or he may scream. Dan Quayle and an owlbear will also be there. Hashtag squad goals, am I right? Now, the last thing I wanted to tell you is if you are searching for a higher purpose for your spirit, I want you to dig deep inside yourself, find the state of your union with yourself. And if you can do it, I applaud you. And if you can't, it just takes some practice. But if you dig deep within your soul and you are unable to find the truth and the well-being and vote Democrat this election season, all I have to say to you is R.I.P. They're tarot cards. Just don't look at the underside. You're going to die soon. Goodbye. Oh, you're still there. Go away. And for God's sake, freaking vote!
Yes, everybody, Necromancer Pelosi. That was it. Oh, what a delight she always is. Tim, I want to thank you very much for sharing this time with me, as everyone who has been watching this entire show. But one last quick check in the comments. Does anyone have anything from the chat that they would like to share?
The Liv was concerned about Necromancer Pelosi's ability to trip over and over again, and also Brian was wondering if she was the enemy of Lick McConnell.
Oh yes, Lich McConnell. Oh, yes, I've heard of that before. That is another kind of bloodsucker that I have never really agreed with very much. I mean, there's one way of sucking out somebody's soul, but then, you know, there's actually drawing out the will to live from everyone that you see around you, which it's a difference of opinion. It's a difference of approach. It's not the way that I like to do it, but some people like to live their lives the way they do. I can't tell you why. Anyway, everyone at home, I want to thank you very much for watching this show. It has been a blast sharing all of these comics and jokes and costumes with you. I hope that you've enjoyed all of the comedians that you've seen tonight. And if you have enjoyed it, please hop on Facebook or any any of the other social medias and check out the Interchange Theater Co-op for a bunch of other fun shows. Give us a like, give us a ring, send us a message, anything that you like. If you got some extra Halloween jokes, we would love to hear them. Also, if you want to share some of the pictures of your costumes, please send them to us, throw it in the messages, and we will definitely be as willing as ever to share them as much as we can to give you the Halloween boost that you need. Now, as for me as a vampire, I'm going to go sit back, relax, drink my favorite soda pop Fango, and play a little Castlevania with all of my friends. Tim, I wish you a good night. Thank you very much for joining us, and all of you at home, happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween!